So I've just turned 30, and this is a video that will serve as a time capsule. I'm at home. I didn't prepare any celebration. I'm not traveling. I'm not gonna have a huge gathering tonight with a lot of friends. I'm just gonna chill the whole day at home with myself and just reflect on life. It's been 30 years that I've been born and brought to this world. 30 years of moments, experience, emotions. And I want in the next few years to be able to watch at this video and look at how things went on, how things evolved. As of today, I've achieved every goals and every dreams I had when I was a kid. I was born in Belgium with no financial capabilities in a family that was not really rich, actually lacked a lot of money. Not in the most stable familial environment, with my father going away in the worst way possible. I'm not talking death, I'm talking about just being a dick. And yet, I was able to turn things around. I've achieved many things. I've lived on yachts. I've traveled in private jets whenever I was able to, which was very young. I don't have a driver license because I was always being driven, either by, at first, public transportation, then taxi, then now my own private drivers with an S. I own luxury cars. I've achieved financial independence, and basically there is nothing I cannot do. I've had so many experiences on so many levels. I've met the celebrities that I was seeing on TV when I was a kid, and I partied with them, and I can text them on WhatsApp. I've done very unique experiences, met very unique people, traveled to so many different places on earth. I worked for a big corporation at every level, from normal employee to being an executive. I've had companies, some failed, some succeeded. I had good exits. I was able to give back to my mom. I was able to give back to my sister. And so basically in those 30 first years of my life, every single dreams and every single visions I had for myself has been achieved. Every experiment, everything I wanted to live, I've done it. Theoretically, if I was dying today, I will be okay with that. So now there is a shift, because I think, and this shift of just came in the last few years already, and was already there when I was younger, I guess, is what drives me forward is not really achieving things for myself, but achieving things for people. It's contribute to the world, right? Because I'm kind of fascinated about the fact that, it's about how people will remember you and how people will how you will affect the life of people, right? How can you contribute to the good of the world and to the advance of humanity? And I think my shift has happened and is really happening now. Okay, I've achieved everything I wanted to. I've done really cool stuff. In terms of my own personal journey, again, if I was to die tomorrow or today, I would not regret anything. I've done everything the way I want it to be, and I've achieved everything I wanted to be. I have achieved the freedom I was looking for. If I don't want to do anything for the next 10 years, I can. If I want to travel, I can. If I want to, I can do it. It's fine. So what's my purpose for the next 30 years? Because in 30 years I will be 60, and I want to be in a position to watch this video, this one I'm recording right now, for myself, and see what I've done. I'll also see what the world is about. What's the difference? Maybe I will have lost everything. Maybe I will have gained more. Maybe I will have achieved something amazing. Or maybe I will just have had a very normal life and decided to get into the box and got kids and a family and everything like that. What's interesting though is that the world is changing faster now than when I was younger. So that's gonna be an interesting point to watch this video again in the next few years to see how the world has changed between now and then. But so that brings us to the fact that I'm turning 30, and my gift to myself in the past few days has been now trying to focus on how I can bring better stuff to the world and contribute better to the world and things like that. And it's on picking up skills. I think the last 30 years I've been very self-focused on the skills I've had already learned, software engineering and geopolitics and psychology and those kind of things that are great skills that allowed me to kind of, pave my way and reach the point where I am. And contribute in different ways, right? I contributed to the national security of countries. I've contributed to the success of some companies and some entrepreneurs. I've inspired people, apparently, which I'm very happy about. I think it's amazing. I've done, again, great stuff. Really happy. It's my 30 years old video, so obviously I'm throwing myself a lot of flowers. But also, it's just a realistic point of view, right? Like, I'm happy with everything I've done so far. It's cool. Coming from nowhere and where I am, it's really cool. But now I think it's the moment where I just learn more. I think instead of traveling, instead of discovering more countries, instead of discovering more cultures, instead of discovering more restaurants or living in a big house or those kind of things, I think it's the moment where I just go into my bubble, where I've seen that I tend to do that more and more in the past few years. I will say in the past 2 years I've become more and more introvert. And it's not that I don't like people or I don't like to socialize, I actually love it. It's more that I think I'm sensing the fact that I need to learn more. I think the world is becoming such a multi-skilled place, and there is so much things that are happening above our head in terms of AI development and things like that, where I know that my skills and my contribution to the world are going to become very irrelevant. And the thing is, since I've achieved everything I wanted, if in the next 2 years I cannot contribute to the world in any way, shape or form that is meaningful, then what's my purpose? Really, what's my purpose? And I want to make sure that I have a purpose. So for having a purpose, then I need to learn more. And so the gift I've done to myself and my celebration of my 30 years old, that sounds very stupid. And it's funny for me to say because I would never have thought this will be my mindset, is that I've started to learn electronic. I've taken the last 2 weeks to be focused on electronic and kind of do nothing else. I've done some work here and there, but really solely focused on electronic. And I've achieved a lot of things in the last 2 weeks. And the past few months, I've learned much more about different subjects. I've dived into so many different parts of different subjects I'm lacking information of, like deeper stories of history, deeper information about history, statistical science. And that's the gift to myself. So me, you, who is me? Well, actually, the person watching this is probably not me, but there will be me watching this later. I want you to look at this video later. Hopefully not in 1 year, hopefully in 10 years, if I'm still alive and if internet is still around and if I still have access to internet, am I still free enough to go on internet? I want you to take the words I'm saying right now and the gift I gave myself, the gift of more knowledge, and think about what you have achieved with this. Was it useful to learn more? Or did we get fucked fully and did civilization fail? Or knowledge is so redundant because we've given knowledge to machines that we're just free floating around. Basically, I would love to know what's in the future, and you as my future self, I want you to reflect on that. I didn't want this to be a very long video neither, I just want this to be a quick one. I think in terms of memories and experience, I don't have to create an exhaustive list. If I get Alzheimer one day, even if I was giving a list of every achievement and every experience I've had, those are so personal, like most of them are so personal, right? Like things that you have lived, people you have met, the situations you've been put into. Some are classified actually anyway, but the ones that are not classified, even if you give all of that and explain all the stories that you have, if one day you get Alzheimer, you will never get that, right? Like, so that's the thing, like the experiments you get, the stories you live, they're only good for you to create for humanity and to contribute to the world. a different level and scale, right? Like you don't have to be Elon Musk level of like thinking of launching rockets to Mars. That's like high level. I'm not there. It can literally be about like creating a better fort. I have no fucking clue what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. Like it can be the lowest level of contribution as soon as it helps people and it establishes some truth and it helps steering the world towards a better statistical situation of survival for humanity. Kind of lost my train of thoughts there, but basically, you know, a lot of people are telling me like you should write a book, you should like not forget about those things like that you're speaking about, like those specific experiences and stuff like that, but like realistically, even if I did, there's no point, because the best way to share your experience, I really believe that, is by creating and achieving things. I guess one thing that works by sharing your stories is inspiring people, but realistically, are you inspiring someone by saying, yeah, I lived on a yacht from 17 to 18 and I traveled privately? I don't think you're inspiring anyone. I think you inspire people if you show a very materialistic stuff, like if I show that I come from nowhere and then I'm there today. Of course, this can inspire people by unlocking the thing in their mind to say I can do whatever I want and I can be whoever I want to be. But realistically, like especially on nowadays on internet, there is shit tons of people like that. I think that has been demonstrated so many times that it's an inspiration that you don't need to give anymore, right? And I'm happy to give it, but I'm always afraid, especially now, that if I say that, it's like I'm showing off, which I'm not. I used to be a show-off person when I started to make money. I'm not anymore. I like my black t-shirt and my black short. I don't put a suit anymore. I don't have like any expensive watch. Yeah, my way of existing and inspiring now became contribution, creating cool shit. Like recently, the thing that allowed me to drive on Cyberpunk and other video games with my feet and trying to miniaturize that and things like this. And I don't know what this project will become. Probably it's gonna go to trash at some point, but you'll tell me in the future. And so yeah, I mean, so if I was to get Alzheimer later, I don't think I will regret. I think I've reached a state, basically, to put it simply, where I can just free float. But I don't want to free float. I want to float with a purpose. I think that is a good summary of the summary. So again, this video was just to celebrate my 30 years old, to give myself a point of reflection for myself right now and for myself in the future, and kind of be a time capsule by itself. A very short but still existing time capsule. If you are not me in the future, then thank you for watching, and if you're me in the future, use what I just said as a keyframe in the timeline that's passing to kind of create another self-reflection point for yourself and steer yourself to the right direction if possible. Again, depending on what's the state of the world. Maybe you're dead. Maybe the world has gone to shit. Maybe you're fishing to survive. Maybe you've lost everything and you're homeless. I have no fucking clue. But yeah, self-reflect. Anywho, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.